I'm recording this lecture. I'm recording this lecture. Okay, it started now. Uh, Today's topic, as you all know, is Indian Contract Act. Before starting this topic, if any one of you encounters any doubt in between the lecture, please raise your hand and ask that doubt. Don't keep that doubt in your mind. If you face problem in understanding my language part, if I'm going too fast, then you have to tell me right there in the lecture. Okay, and last thing, and we all here are friends. No one is going to judge anyone here. Everyone is here to learn. Even I will learn from you people. So when asking doubt, do not keep any hesitations in your mind. Ask freely. So let us start.
Sir,
Yes, Moin.
sir, I don't have any problem in English, but if you are comfortable, can you explain in Hindi?
No problem.
I'm
I'll.
absolutely comfortable, but I think there might be some participants which may find it difficult to
You are
understand
comfortable, right?
English.
If there is anyone else,
Yes, I'm
they can.
I'm absolutely comfortable.
Yes, then no worries.
Okay,
If
sir.
you face any
But
doubt
some
in
people
between, you
feel
ask.
shy to say this. You know, some
No worries.
people feel
No
shy
one,
to
no
say
one
this
will
that
feel shy
we
in
don't
my
understand English.
class. No one will feel
Okay,
shy
sir.
in my class.
Okay,
Not
thank
a
you, sir.
problem. Yes, yes. So let us start. I have one. So as I do it in every class, Moin, please. Ah, yes, you are muted. Let us start. I'll share my screen, and we will start with the questions on the screen. Okay. Law is common sense. You can hear me, right?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So what do you mean by this? Law is common sense. So if we see it in a general way, there are, suppose in India there are some streams of education which are very general, and there are some streams of education which are very professional. Law, medical, nursing, engineering, architecture is considered to be a professional stream of education, right? So the quality of professional stream of education is technicality. Not everyone can know it. In the opposite of it is general education, like BA. Right? BA is very general. Humanities. We say overall humanities. It is very general education. There is no technicality. If you read sociology textbook, you're going to understand what's written in there. That's not very technical. So law, we keep it in professional field, right? But is there any technicality in law? Is it very difficult? No. My answer is no, and I'll explain you why. See, even Indian law allows a citizen to fight his or her own case. That's not the situation with other professions, right? You cannot operate a surgery unless you have license, but you can fight your own case in a court, because again it's all the game of words. I'm not saying that law is a simple field, but I'm not saying that it is complex either. It is not a complex field. Law is a common sense. Whatever you feel, do not kill anyone. Common sense. Do not do theft, do not steal from anyone, is a common sense. When you promise your friend that you will do something, do that thing. Do not break the promises. It is a common thing. Okay, understood till now? And now I'll try to explain, like in further in this lecture I'll explain you what do this commons how this common sense is imbibed in the legal language. The common sense in our day-to-day life, in our practical life, is imbibed in the laws, just with just the change of language. Okay, so now let us go towards the general questions. The PDF which I have shared on the group is the Indian Contract Act 1872. What does the word act mean to you? What do you understand by the word act? I want responses. ACT, act.
सर तुमचा आवाज मध्ये मध्ये कट का होतोय बरं?
नो जेरोम सर, माझ्या साईडने प्रॉब्लेम नाहीये. बाकी मी व्हॉइस टेस्टिंग घेतली, कोणालाच प्रॉब्लेम नाहीये. ते तुमच्या कनेक्शन मध्ये
तुमचा
प्रॉब्लेम
आवाज
असेल
मध्ये
सर.
मध्ये कट होतोय.
Is anyone else facing the same problem? Is my voice
Uh,
clear or
no, sir. Seamlessly, I'm getting your.
clear आहे सर बाकीच्यांना?
मी वायफाय एरियातच आहे तसं तसं करतो बरं.
मी सुद्धा वायफाय मध्येच आहे सर, पण काहीतरी प्रॉब्लेम असू शकतो.
वायफाय पूर्ण चांगला आहे तरी सुद्धा.
बाकी कोणालाच
ठीक
प्रॉब्लेम
आहे
नाही.
ठीक आहे,
एनिवन
कॅरी ऑन.
निनाद, रेश्मा, ऋषभ, अबिदा, श्रावणी.
नहीं सर, आवाज आ रही है आपकी.
आवाज आ रही
आवाज
है.
येतो फक्त मध्ये मध्ये कट होतो आणि काय.
Means they have it very clear. So
ठीक आहे
I
जाऊ
think
दे.
okay. So we were at the point where I asked you one question. What does the word act mean to you? ACT, not in the
हम्म.
English language. Okay, generally I take English courses, but act in the sense of legal terms.
Rule.
Okay, rule. Anyone else?
Act is action.
No, sir, not in the English terms, not action, in the legal terms.
ओके ओके हा.
Yes, be spokative. Look at Moin and look at Jerome, sir. They are all speaking. You should speak to other people. If you engage, you will remember this lecture for a longer time. And remember, Contracts Act is very important in perspective of CET. There are lots of questions. So keep your attention all here, okay? So as Moin said, act means rules to him. Act in the legal sense is a rule for him. Let me just modify it a little bit and we will say it to be a rule book. What is an act? It is a rule book. Because there are many rules in it. What are the rules now? That's very general question. Rules we know, to do and not to do, right? You should do something or you should not do something. What is the synonym for not doing something? Abstain from doing something, right? So these are some to do's and to not to do's given to you by whom. That's our next question. Who writes the act? This highlighted question. Come on, raise your hands. We have seen that act is a rule book. There are rules written inside the act. But who writes those rules? Who decides that citizen of India would do something or would not do something?
Judiciary or member of parliament.
Okay, Moin, the right answer is member of parliaments, right? Parliamentarians. We call it Sansad or Khasdar in our local languages, not the judiciary. Judiciary does not have power to frame rules, it has power to interpret the rules, right? So, who writes the rules? Parliamentarians. Okay, what is the procedure of that is all part of political science. We won't go into that. Okay, it's not even that important for uh, CET examination, and whatever the important part is, it would be covered in the constitutional law section. Okay, is any act binding? So before going to this question, now we know that there is something called as act. Okay, it is a rule book. It is few pages document. There are rules written on it, and those rules are written by member of parliaments. How many acts are there in general in India? Is there any limit on acts or no? There, so my I'll directly give answer. There is no limit on any act. Like you can't say that there will be 50 acts every year, new 50 acts every year. No. If government wants to regulate any field, they can bring out act for that field. Okay, so there are numerous acts. So last time when I read it, it was around 70,000. There are 70,000 acts in India as of now. The synonym for act is law. So the number of act is number of laws, right? So there
Sir,
are
you mean 70 or 17?
70.
70.
Do not quote this anywhere. I had read it vaguely somewhere, but
Okay, sir.
just to tell you in brief that there are numerous acts, right? And what do we mean by act? Rule book or a law? Now we hear that that is legal or illegal. What does it mean by something to be legal? It is according to law, and illegal means it is not as per law, or it is in contravention to law. And what is a law? Law is anything that is written, right? Let me just go here and write this down. Law needs to be written. The act is the law. Okay.
Sir, we can
So
say law and act is
yes,
synonymous.
law and act is synonym. So now in front of us we have the Indian Contract Act. So if anyone asks you, what is the law for contracts in India? Moin is my friend. I am Onkar. Onkar and Moin are going to form one contract, are going to go into one agreement. Onkar is selling some product. Suppose I am seller of phones. I'm selling Moin smartphones, and Moin wants to purchase from me. So in between us, in between me and Moin, there should be some agreement. Even though we are friends, tomorrow some disputes might arise, right? So there must be some agreement. And we thought that okay, Moin and Onkar thought that let us make an agreement between us. So what is the law governing these agreements? The law is Indian Contract Act. Clear till now? Anyone has any doubt? You can ask in doubt. Okay, I think even you can chat, you can put your messages in the chat box if you have any doubt. Okay, so I think this is the simplest form in which I can explain. So anywhere after this lecture, you see anywhere that law, illegal, legal, you know what is the background. If it is illegal means it is in contravention to law. What is a law? Act is a law. Okay, what is the other word used in case of the other words used rather than act? Code. We hear it very often. Indian Penal Code. The code and act are similar. The code word is used because it was a bulkier document than any act. So acts are generally between below 100 pages, but codes are more than 100 pages. Vaguely, okay, that's not the definition or formula, but these were given by these terminologies were given by Britishers to us, so we have taken that as it is. So Civil Procedure Code, CPC, Indian Penal Code, these are the codes because they are bulkier. You can say bulkier, no distinction in that. But 99% of the time in India, if government forms any law, the terminology used would be XYZ Act. Okay, suppose recent laws, if we see recent laws they wanted to pass pass Citizenship Amendment Act, right? That was to regulate the citizenship. Any recent example of any law, any act? The IT Amendment Act. What is an amendment? That will be explained in the constitutional lectures. That's not very hard. Okay, act. The ending was act. Okay, so this is clear. We have seen what act is. Act is law. Act is equals to law. Then we see who writes these rules. These rules are written by parliamentarians. But see, Indian Contract Act was formed in, so the title of the law is Indian Contract Act, 1872. What does the year 1872 denotes? It is the year in which that act came out. Okay. In 1872, Indian Contract Act was made applicable for the people. 1872. So was there any parliament in place at in the year 1872? No, we got independent on 1947. So this is a British period. This was a we were under a colony. We were as a colony in this period, 1872. So there are few rules existing in India, that is, there are few laws or there are few acts existing in India which are made by Britishers, but we still abide by those rules. Why? Because they were simply related to the day-to-day functioning of the country or day-to-day governance of the different matters, and they were written very well. So there was no need to change them. So how do we imbibe those British rules in our uh, today's what we can say uh, date? Why don't people suppose penal code was heavily opposed by people that it is given by Britishers and all, but other laws that suppose contract act. So there is provision of constitution, that is article 13. Okay, so let me write this thing. 1872, given by British people. Article 13 of Indian Constitution. What is the significance of Article 13 of Indian Constitution? This article allows some laws which are pre-independence to be taken into today's date. Okay, that is the simple relevance. That's why Contract Act is valid today. Otherwise, anyone can say that, oh, this act was given by British, that is pre-independence. So this is not an Indian act. So this act is not valid. Is that the case? No, this act is valid because as of now, Article 13 of Indian Constitution makes it valid. What did we learn till now? We learned about the words act, law, rule, rule book. Then we saw who forms the act, parliamentarians. What is the number 1872 in the title of Indian Contract Act? That 1872 is the year in which the act was given. The act was made applicable to its subjects. Who are the subjects? The people living at that point of time of any particular territory. Okay, now let's move forward. Is any act binding on us, that is citizens of India? Answer is yes. What are the components of any act? So let us go towards. So have you seen this question? Last question. What are the components of the act? So act in general, there is a skeleton to anything. So let us. You can see bare act in front of you, right? We saw the title. Okay. You were able to see bare act, right? Oh, okay. So the version, the PDF which I have opened is called as Bare Act. Bare. Bare. Bare means in its natural form. There is no additions in it, right? So most of the times, some people, publications add case laws in the act itself, or some commentary, some notes, explanations in the acts itself. So this is not the case with this version. This is Bare version, means there are just the rules inside it. Okay, you're able to hear me and all, right? If there is any problem, just tell it. Okay, so this is act in front of us now, Indian Contract Act 1872. Okay, the first component of any
Sir,
act.
screen is not visible completely.
You can, the
Okay,
last line
okay.
which you can.
It might be my mistake. Now
Zoom
screen
in,
is
zoom in.
completely visible.
Okay, I'm zooming in this page. Okay, thank you. So every act has similar kind of skeleton. The content might change. The content definitely changes as per the act, but the skeleton is similar. What is the first thing that you can notice is title. Just a minute. What is title? We just saw title, Indian Contract Act 1872. Then second is index. Can you see index? This arrangement of sections is nothing but index, right? So in index, this is this section. Okay, it's you can just ignore this part. There is one word written as preamble. Just a minute. Okay. Let us move forward. The title, index, they have called it arrangement of sections, but we will, for our simple knowledge, we will call it index. And so this whole thing is index because there are numbers, right? In general, how do we write index? Numberings. So the moment where these numberings end, we go down, go down, go down. This is where the numbering has ended. So index has ended, and this is where the act has started on page number 10 of PDF. Preamble, and then section 1, short title, and then section 2, interpretation clause. So I'll just go here and I'll write. First you see title, then index. Index has numerical list of all the sections. Preamble plus then preamble content, and then okay, title we have seen, index we have seen. Now I'll tell you what preamble is. Preamble is the initial part of any act. So this portion right here is preamble. It might be one line, it might be two lines, it might be 10 lines. The preamble of constitution. So constitution is the most supreme act, most supreme law. It is also called as rule of law. So there is preamble to the constitution, which we used to say in our school prayers, right? School assembly, we the people of India. So that is, I think, 12, 13 lines of preamble. This is just one line of preamble, whereas it is expedient to define and certain parts of law relating to contracts. It is hereby enacted as follows. That's very simple version. It's not necessary for our exam perspective. Okay, it's just you should not feel foreign with this act. You should not feel that okay, this is something very intimidating. That's why I'm making you known. Let us go back again. The title, index starts here, preamble. Then this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What is this 1, 2, 3 numbering? These are sections. What are the components of the act? They are, the one of the most important component is section. What is a section? Section is rule. Suppose I want to say that there is act related to penal code, Indian penal code. So there is one rule, we know that you should not kill anyone else, right? So what is that rule? How is that rule incorporated in the penal code? Section 300, sorry, section 302, right? 302, we have heard that long, right? 302, which says that do not kill anyone. We say that do not do cheating on anyone, do not do fraud with anyone, right? So that's the law. How is this law incorporated in the penal code? It is in the section 420, 420, right? We all know about this. So section 420. Clear till now what a section is? So preamble is just the initial part, which is not very important for our examination. It is just the introduction of an act. Okay. Then we saw what sections are. So sections are written in numerical way in any act, right? In an index, sorry, in an index. So let us go back again to the index. So this is one short title. This is 2 means section number 2 interpretation clause. This is 40 means section number 40. This is the title of that section. Okay, got it till now? Now if we go down, see this 40 is here. Okay, if we go down to 40, see, same thing. In the
So, sir,
index
that
there is,
means in Act there are many sections.
yes, sure, in act there are many sections. One section is one rule, but act is rule book. That is a book made of different rules, a combination of rules, right?
Sir, you are saying section is equal to rule. Section is a rule.
Yes,
But
I'm going to write that.
yes,
Hmm.
sir. But some section deals with definition only, na?
Yes, just a
Then
minute.
how can we say the section is equal to rule?
Just a minute, I'm writing. Huh. So I think this might be heavy for the other people because I have not introduced what the definition or interpretation clause yet. But for the sake of keeping it simple, even the definition section is a rule book. Sorry, is a rule. In fact, there is separate act called General Clauses Act, which just deals with the definitions. That we call it act. So if the collection of definitions is called as act, single definition becomes rule. So that's not the case. So for your purpose, I think Moin, you have some legal background. Is it the case? You have a legal background?
No, sir. But I am an auditor.
Oh, so you are already working. I thought you are a student of graduation.
No, sir.
Oh, sorry. So this is an interpretation clause. So we'll go to the simplest one. Definition of contract. What is the definition of contract? An agreement enforceable by law is a contract. So tomorrow in case if tomorrow in court if a case comes and in which one party says that that was not even a contract, what happened between me and other party was not a contract, then court will come back to this definition and see what is a contract. An agreement enforceable by law is a contract. So the court will take recourse to this path. So that means they are using this definition as a law. So you can law means in general term. I was so to keep this simple, to keep this basic at this level for the student level, I was explaining it in terms that we know what are the laws in our society. Do not kill, do not do robbery. Okay, so this was just the simplification. I think it would be better to keep it simple. If you take it very deep, it's like teaching it to the third year law students. So no need to take it deep. Everything written in an act is a law. Okay, simply. Anyone has any doubt?
Sir, have you completed describing the skeleton?
No, not yet. Okay, so I'll proceed further. So now we will talk specific about this act because you have to study this act for your examination purpose and it's going to carry a huge amount of marks. So other part in skeleton is chapter. There is chapterization of any act basically. There is chapterization of any act, chapter 1, then there is heading of chapter 1, and then there is grouping of few sections, that is section 3 to 9 in that chapter. Then there is chapter 2, the heading of chapter 2, then grouping of few sections. Okay, then there is even subdivision of a chapter. This is subdivision of that chapter. It's not necessary for examination as of now, but you have to learn through this document. Do not use secondary material, use the primary material, that is this act, to learn for your CET examination. So once you open this act, I know you will feel very complex that, oh, what is this, I'm not getting it. So just to make it simple for you to get it, I am doing this. Okay, there is chapter 3, chapter 4. Chapter 4 is divided into two more two divisions, this one and this one. There is third division in that chapter, fourth division. How are these divisions made? These are made according to uh, the similarity in the sections. Suppose this is kind of grouping. We group people according to their height. All the tall people go in the background and all the short people come forward whenever we are clicking a group picture or something like that. So this is similar grouping based on the content. Okay, the laws which they, so the kind of content which they have. So till now what we have covered: title, right? So many times in CET they have asked this question: the Indian Contract Act came out in which year? 1872. Title, index, then preamble, then sections, right? We have not dealt with any individual section as of now. Like what does section 1 say, what does section 2 say, what does section 3 say? Nothing as of now. Okay, any doubt till now? Okay, so let us move forward to this part of questions. What is the relevance of contract act according to you? So before going into this, what is contract for you? What is a contract? Any example of contract that you have encountered in your daily life, or just you have came across this word contract?
Like when we buy a home or when we take a shop on rent, we enter into an agreement.
Yes, very good. Now I want answers from everyone, okay? Because everyone has encountered some contracts.
It's an
Any idea?
understanding between two parties.
Yes. Any example?
Understanding between two parties or agreement between two parties.
Yes. Any example in daily life? Jerome sir
Like
has
very
made it
simple
very.
example from shop we buy something. No, so they
Yes,
are giving us the things and we are giving them money. So that is also
yes. So Jerome sir has made it very simple. So I want answers from other people. Now it's very simple. He said that it's an understanding between two parties. There is buying, selling mostly.
Sir, can marriage be called a contract?
So it differs. So in Hindu marriage, it's not a contract. In Muslim marriages, it's a contract as per the marriage laws of India. Come on, come on, come on. Reshma, Pranjali, Ninad, Rishabh, Shravani. See, you need to understand the concept of it. if you understand the main concept, it would be very easy for us to deal in it. And I'm not moving forward until you guys at least tell me something. Come on. You can type it in the chat box. It's very simple, na? It's very simple. What is a contract? Just agreement, not in legal term, in a very general terms. What agreements do you come across, or have you came across? Any promises? You made any promise to your friend? That was an agreement to do something. Like, okay, I'll come to your home to play. Come on. You went to a petrol pump, you paid 100 rupees, and the worker at petrol pump gave you petrol for worth of 100 rupees, not 1 rupee less, not one more. Was not that an agreement? I will pay 100, you will give me petrol worth rupees that.
Sir, while encouraging others to answer, you gave an example of friends. One friend made a promise to other that I will come to your home for playing.
Hmm.
So how it can be a contract? It does not create
No,
any
no,
legal
don't
relationship.
don't go into technicalities. I'm just
Okay, okay.
introducing this thing, huh? So the moment I'll go into the sections, what is a promise, which promise is binding, and which promise is not binding, what is
Oh,
a
okay.
valid and valid agreement, then we will discuss all these things. I just want to introduce the concept as of now.
I feel
Okay.
it should be give and take relationship. One
What's
friend
that?
is promising other to visit him. It is one-sided promise. No, it should be give and take, both the sided. No, like uh, consumer is giving 100 rupees to petrol pump and vendor is giving that 100 rupees
Yes.
worth petrol.
So so
It is give and take.
so other friend has promised that I will give you a treat at my home if you come to play, and the friend is saying I'll come to play. So very important principle came out of this discussion. There should not be one-sided promise. Okay, there should always be something give and take. See, if you guys speak, we will get better things out of it. Like I was going to tell about one-sided promise, and there should be some consideration all, but the very good word give and take. Very simple, very good word that will be very helpful for us to understand. Okay, come on. If anyone wants to give any other example, so let us move forward. What is the relevance of Contract Act? To regulate. Okay, understood. So this part, what is the relevance of Contract Act? Understood this part? It's very simple. If anyone finds any doubtful in this, you can tell. Okay, then next question. How many sections are there in it? How many sections are there in Indian Contract Act? How to find the number of sections? Go to the act, go to the index. There is a numbering. Go to the end of numbering. End is 266. So you can say 266. I will give star mark here. Okay, what is this star mark for? With repealed sections. Okay, there are 266 sections in the Indian Contract Act. Star, what is star? With repealed sections, there are 266. What is a repealed section? That we will see in the next lecture. But it's just to tell you how to count the sections. How many sections are there in any act? What are the
Repelled means
important?
cancelled. Cancelled. Repelled means
Yes, cancelled sections. So those, okay, in a very simple term, cancelled sections.
so
Those are
total
not
were two
in
to 66. Total were 266. Now it is lesser.
six. Total are 266. As
Abasaba.
you can see, the number is 266, but many sections in the act are repealed.
So
So
still we
here
have to
comes.
count this.
No, we don't have to count this, but as of now in this lecture, I don't want to explain the concept of repealing. So that's why I'm not going into it, and I've given a star mark there. No one is going to ask this question that how many sections are there in XYZ Act. Only one question can be asked: how many articles are there in the Constitution of India? Apart from this, no one will ask you this question: how many sections are there in the act? This question was taken you to introduce to the concept of a section, like the numbering. What is this numbering? These are the sections. Okay, just very simple. What is a repealed section? That is a cancel. So that repeal means that part have been cancelled, that is not applicable as a law anymore. No one counts it as a law. Okay, no need to worry about that. Important parts for our CET examination. What are the important parts from this act? I'll tell you the important parts. Very important part is interpretation clause. Then whole of chapter 1. Then whole of chapter 2. Then
That means still
se-
in section 30.
yes, then section 31 and 32. 37, 38, 39. 73, 74, 75. Sorry. 124 to 130. 148 to 154. 172. 182 to 189. 191. 196, 97. 201. 222. 223, 224, and 225. 238. So does anyone have notes of what I have all told, like notes of the section, which were the numbers? Does anyone has note written down the numbers?
Yes, I have written numbers. Should I say?
Just a minute. You can. Is it in the written format or typed format?
I have written in my book.
Okay, then you can just tell it to me fast. I'll type it down.
Yeah. First we said interpretation clause, then chapter 1 and 2, that is till
The
section 30.
okay, section 2 to 30. Then
Then sections 31, 32,
hmm.
38, 37, 38, 39,
Next.
39. Then 73 to 75,
Okay, next.
124 to 130,
Next.
140 to 154,
Next.
172. I forgot. I have not written that. 172 something you said.
Just
172.
170 to 172. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Then 180 to 189.
No, I mean 172 only, not 170 to 172.
Acha,
yes, yes.
only
180.
172.
Okay,
So after
182
one,
to 189.
then 182, no? Ah,
Hmm.
oh, 182 to 180. Then 191, 196, 196, 197, 201, then 222, triple two, till 1225, and
Next.
then 238.
Then
Yeah, 238. This much only.
okay. So thank you, Jerome sir. So we
Yeah,
have
yeah.
got idea. So the motto for today's class, we have discussed everything what we had to discuss. Now you might feel that the last part was rushed, but that was not rushed because we will go in deep with every section. What the number we have just written. Okay, we'll go deep into that and we will try to cover in these 40 hours which we have told. Okay, so no worry in that. So I'll share this document with you in the WhatsApp group. If you feel any doubt in this, please ask it. Okay. Apart from this, any doubt?
No, I tried to go through, but I